My name is Kaitlyn May, and I'm a third-year PhD student in the Educational Psychology and Neuroscience program, and today I'll be talking to you about my research on executive functions in autism. Autism is a neurodevelopmental disorder characterized by social impairments and restricted or repetitive behaviors and interests. Executive functions can be thought of as the air traffic control system of your brain. They guide and regulate other cognitive systems so that we can achieve our behavioral goals. Executive function impairments are widely cited in the autism literature, but the problem with it is that there's not a lot of agreement. First, everybody on the autism spectrum is different, and so not everyone on the spectrum has executive function impairments. Second, you can have impairments in one component of executive function, like planning, but be strong in another area, like inhibition. Finally, while some research cites an over-reliance of the prefrontal cortex in individuals with autism while completing executive function tasks, others say that there's not enough activation in this region. Because of this, it's really hard to summarize what we know so far and make sense of it. I conducted an anatomical likelihood estimation analysis of 18 fMRI studies. This resulted in a meta-analysis of 900 participants, 408 with autism and 492 typically developing, ranging in age from 7 to 52. This type of analysis allowed me to make conclusions from all of the knowledge that we have so far and make sense of it. At first glance, the activation of the prefrontal cortex in both groups looked relatively similar. However, in the autism group, this activation didn't extend past the prefrontal cortex into other relevant executive regions. This meant that there might be a connectivity problem that's preventing that spread of activation that needs to happen. Second, in the autism group, the prefrontal cortex activation happened at distinctly different coordinates. Finally, the autism group had a different developmental trajectory. In the typically developing group, activation occurred primarily in the occipital lobe and then extended to the prefrontal cortex and other executive regions after the age of 16. In the autism group, there was no significant activation until the age of 16, at which point it was restricted to the prefrontal cortex. This research gives us a picture of what executive function looks like in the autistic brain. We can then use this picture in order to develop diagnostic methods and interventions to treat individuals on the spectrum.